For the Soviet Union, American bombers were already a familiar problem. They could be tracked on radar, intercepted by fighters, and planned for in case of war. But then, something completely different appeared in the sky. This new bomber had no propellers. It was powered by jet engines. At first, Soviet analysts believed it was only a test aircraft, maybe a single prototype. That assumption didn't last long. Soon, spy photographs arrived from inside the United States. They showed long factory halls filled with identical jet bombers under construction. This was not an experiment. It was mass production. Even more troubling, these aircraft were not staying in America. They were being deployed to overseas bases. Each new base brought them closer to Soviet borders. What the Soviet Union now faced was not just a bomber, but an entire global strike system. To understand how this aircraft came to exist, we need to return to the final years of World War I. By 1943, military planners were already thinking beyond the current war. Propeller-driven bombers like the B-29 were powerful, but they were reaching their limits. The future clearly belonged to jet aircraft. The U.S. Army Air Forces quietly asked manufacturers to explore a new idea, a jet-powered bomber that could fly faster and higher than anything before it. The requirements were extreme: over 600 miles per hour, above 40,000 feet, and with enough range to cross oceans. Across the Atlantic, Nazi Germany was working on similar concepts. German engineers had discovered that swept wings could greatly increase speed at high altitude. When the war ended in 1945, American engineers rushed to capture this advanced research. One Boeing engineer sent an urgent message home: stop the current bomber design. Boeing abandoned its traditional layout and began an entirely new aircraft based on swept wings. Jet engines were moved from the fuselage into pods mounted under the wings, reducing drag and improving stability. The result was a revolutionary aircraft. The B-47 STITO jet. It looked nothing like earlier bombers. Its wings were thin and sharply swept, forcing designers to use a unique bicycle landing gear. Two main wheels ran along the fuselage, with small outrigger wheels supporting the wings. The first prototype flew in December 1947, exactly 44 years after the Wright brothers' first flight. To the relief of everyone watching, the B-47 flew smoothly and very fast. During testing, the aircraft shattered speed records for bombers. Pilots described it as sleek, clean, and difficult to slow down. While some stability problems appeared, they were solved with new electronic systems. The U.S. Air Force was impressed enough to order the B-47 into full production. By the mid-1950s, more than 1,000 Stratojets were in service. They became the backbone of America's nuclear deterrent. B-47s were stationed around the world, in Europe, North Africa, Alaska, and the Pacific. Many sat on constant alert, armed and ready to take off within minutes. At first, Soviet air defenses struggled to stop them, but technology continued to advance. New interceptors and surface-to-air missiles made high-altitude bombing increasingly dangerous. The B-47 adapted by flying low and fast under radar coverage. This tactic worked, but it placed heavy strain on both the aircraft and its crews. Soon, newer bombers entered service. The B-52 offered longer range and greater endurance, while faster aircraft like the B-58 took over high-speed missions. By the late 1960s, the B-47 was retired from frontline duty, yet its impact was lasting. The Stratojet proved that large jet bombers were not only possible, but essential. It transformed strategic air power and laid the foundation for every bomber that followed. The B-47 may not be as famous as the B-52, but without it, the modern age of strategic aviation would never have begun. Thanks for watching our new technology channel. If you like this video, so do subscribe our channel for more informative videos.